Hey, Damion. Kareth Kirk, NBC Sports Bay Area. Hey, just big picture, as the Bay Area is about to go back into a lockdown. How are you feeling about the seriousness of COVID, and also like the NBA protocols to try to get the season started and keep you guys as safe as possible?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, with everything that's going on around us, I mean, the main thing is still, practice the protocols. Understand everything that's happening not only in our city, but in the state, and then as well as the respective states that we're going to visit. So, I feel like the league is doing a pretty good job in putting these protocols in place, and obviously we have to abide by them. As you see, any repercussions could lead to fines, suspensions, or forfeiting of games. So just understanding the rules and the protocols, and then just trying to do our best to stay safe throughout the season.
Can you kind of give us a day in the life right now for training camp too? Like, what is it like getting into the building? What are the workouts like at this time? How often are you together with other people?
So right now, we have to get in here between 7:30 and 10:30. You come in, you arrive, you take a test. Once as we're going through training camp, you take a test. Can't eat in the facility. Get food, take it to your car, do a rapid test. Wait till that comes back obviously negative, then you can enter the building. Mask on throughout the whole time unless you're on the court. Mask on while you're lifting. I mean, even right now, since we're not full 5-on-5, it's two guys are in the gym, throughout their time slot. So you really don't get to see anyone right now. But once we start, obviously 5-on-5, then we'll have everyone together and sort of go from there. But I mean, it's obviously unprecedented times. But I also just like to think big picture. I mean, we're kind of blessed to be where we are and to get tested every single day. So as long as we continue to do what we're supposed to do, get tested, stay safe, hopefully, when tests obviously become even more available, that other civilians can get them as well. Hot take.
Hey Damon, it's Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. How you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. These days, the bar is set at surviving. So so far, so good on that.
Yes, sir.
Have you had a chance yet to see what the league possible punishments are? We're hearing about possible fines, suspensions, and even possibly losing draft picks and so forth. Have you had a chance to look at any of that yet?
Yeah, yeah. Saw it this morning. I believe Woj tweeted it out, and then I tried to ask one of our guys to email me the document. I think it's like 100 and some pages. So I'll just start skimming over it and looking through it, just trying to educate myself.
If there is a vaccine available, would you be willing to take it?
Uh, that is an interesting question, and that's not something that I can answer right now. Obviously, my mom is a registered nurse, so whatever her advice would be is something that I would go with. So, like I said, my mom, my aunt, my uncle have all been registered nurses for over 20 years. So they're the experts in that field. So that's something that I would have to rely on them about.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Damien, how much have you been talking to your mom and your aunt and your uncle as well, just throughout this whole process in the lead up to training camp, just about COVID and how you can kind of best protect yourself?
Um, I mean, really, I'd say a couple times a week. I mean, if there's any new news, we sort of talk about it or we chat about it. My aunt obviously working in a hospital is huge. So, she's in New York, and the cases were extremely high at one point, where in her office she would have to, double mask, face shield, and everything, and basically wouldn't be able to leave her office. But just trying to stay as educated as possible. My mom was in town not too long ago, so we were just watching the news every night. Lester Holt on MSNBC. Just trying to stay educated, watching stuff about the possible vaccines that are coming out with I think it's Moderna, Johnson and Johnson, and Pfizer. So, just trying to stay educated as much as possible. I don't feel like the answers are always there in front of us, so you always have to look and try to educate yourself. So that's one thing that I'm thankful that I have family that's in that field that can help out.
And more on a basketball related note, last season obviously was kind of a breakthrough for you going from two-way, finally getting guaranteed NBA contract. Now, unfortunately, with Steph out or with Clay out this season, your role becomes even more important, adding depth to that wing rotation. What's kind of your mentality heading into this season right now? What's at the forefront of your mind?
Just coming in and attacking every day. I mean, I said it last year, and I'll say it again. Like, I'm coming into this season as if I'm still on a two-way. Even sure, I signed a deal in January, but I still have that hunger and I still have that want to be a better player than I was, last year. Knowing what I did and knowing how I helped out, the team. But it's also Steve and Luke Laux and coaches that have given me this confidence and still guided me along through this process. So for me, same thing. It's whatever the team needs me to do. But just coming in, playing with a confidence, the humble confidence that I have, just going out there and looking to compete every single night.
Where were you when you heard officially that Clay had torn his Achilles, and what were the first things that kind of went through your mind?
I was here. I was actually home. I was at the house. I think I actually just got done working out, sitting down, and then I'd say I saw it, and then once everything started to specify from leg, lower leg, heel, and all that stuff, it just hurts because everyone sees Clay, and you just see the joy and the passion that he has of playing the game of basketball. So, you hurt for him, and I was I was basically on the verge of crying just because I knew how hard he worked. We would always talk, about coming off the ACL. How did I feel? And he would kind of use me as a little crutch of asking questions about coming off the ACL. So, I was extremely excited for him to come back, but just knowing him and knowing how much he loves the game and how much we all love him, obviously just having him around while he's going through his rehab is going to be huge. So, just looking forward to him coming back. But main thing is just him being mentally, being strong mentally, getting over these hurdles. Because the physical is always going to come back. It's just a matter of just keeping your mental strong. So just can't wait to see him back in person and just see his smile. I mean, obviously he's going through a very tough situation, but just to see Clay smile is what's meaningful to me.
Yeah, early in your career, you went through a period there where you had to miss a ton of time. I don't think it was necessarily consecutive, but you did have to miss a ton of time with injury, rehabs. What kept you going during that period?
My faith. I knew that there would be some adversity. I felt like my story, even from going back to high school when coach told me that I was a Division II player at best, and I wouldn't even sniff Division I, let alone professional basketball. Just having faith in that perseverance, just knowing what I wanted, and I had my eyes set on something, and I had sort of like a vision book, and I would just write notes down every single day from when I got hurt, and it would be in all caps. I would rate how I felt my day was between 1 through 5, 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. And I would just write down, I am an NBA player in all caps. Every single day that I went to rehab, every single day that I woke up, I was having good days, bad days, but I just always wrote that, and I envisioned that. And, I knew that when the timing would come that, I would break through. And, I feel like that's the same with anyone that goes through an injury. Obviously it sucks. It's hard. Mentally, it's worse than anything. But just know that the sport is always there and you can always bounce back and come back. And I think that's the true testament of perseverance.
hearing a lot about how hard Jordan Poole's been working out in the off season. What are you seeing from him so far?
And shooting it well. His body's definitely changed. We always kind of joke with each other about our weight, and just like where he is and where I am. Just trying to have little like competitions, but always, I mean, kid is a hard worker. The kid's a workhorse. It doesn't matter if it's 10 in the morning or 10 at night. He's always looking to get up shots. He's always working. Um, and that's something that I don't think you can teach. I think that's something that he's always had that chip on his shoulder, and I can see is just he just always wants to work and wants to be better and wants to be better. So, definitely expect him to take a jump this year. I'm excited for him. It's cool when you sort of see guys grow up right in front of you. So, obviously excited for JP, excited for EP as well. I mean, just excited for the growth and everyone's development from last year to this year.
Hey, Damion, this is Rich with Let's Go Warriors. And I don't think it's a secret anymore with Curry Brand and had a commercial touting the new technologies like no squeak, anti-slip. What can you say about everything really, Curry Brand as well as the technology? I think you've probably worn the shoe. So anything you can give us on that?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, that's a huge accomplishment, achievement. I don't even know whatever word that you want to put it, but for Steph to have his own brand similar to Jordan Brand. I mean, that alone in itself. Having the ability to sign other athletes under his brand, so that's a huge shout out to him and Under Armour for that brand coming together. The shoe is amazing. I love it. I think it's up there my favorite already. I think even with the canvas, there's so many ways that you can, there's so many colorways that you can do with the shoe. I kind of find myself like when I'm going to make a move, kind of the break in the shoe or going down to catch on like a rip through drive, just being able to get like a slight advantage. I mean, it's different because the foam, you would think it wouldn't have as much traction as it does, but it's kind of on the grippier side, which is pretty dope from the foam material. But I mean, I could probably keep on going on about the shoe, but I love the shoe. Probably my favorite shoe, and can't wait until there's more colorways to come out.
Hello, Damian. I'm Christos from Greece. First of all, I would like to ask you how useful was the mini camp of the last months?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, obviously getting guys together, getting most of the team together, just getting guys back together. I think that's one thing that we missed, obviously missing out on not being in the bubble. Just that camaraderie, being around each other, playing, getting up and down, just hanging out, whatever it was on the simulator or ping pong or playing pool, just getting that team camaraderie. I think that's huge, and that's what makes the best team successful, is that you have that team camaraderie and you have guys that you can hang out, obviously on the court, but then off the court as well.
And also, this season, the Warriors had some very interesting moves with players like Kelly Oubre, Kent Bazemore, Brad Wanamaker. Do you believe that you have the right pieces to return to the playoff spot?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously we have guys that are vets, guys that are experienced, guys that are gonna come in and be great role players for us. I mean, everyone's gonna have an impact on the team. It doesn't matter if you're 1 through 15 or even on the two-way guys as well. Everyone is gonna have an impact, and everyone's gonna have to bring their role. I mean, it's gonna have to do their role and play their part in order for us to make the playoffs, and obviously to go further and deeper into the playoffs.
And also about your expectations, what could you expect for next season, and how helped you to collaborate with Steph Curry?
Can you repeat that?
What are your expectations about next season, and also how is the collaboration with Steph on and off the court?
Um, well, next year, I mean, obviously, I expect us to come out and play hard, be aggressive, night in and night out. Think obviously we have length. We have a lot more athletes, than we did last year. So obviously that's going to help out. Having Steph, Draymond, I can continue to name Wiggs, Kelly, can continue to go down the line, Bays, Wiseman. I don't know. I mean, damn near everybody. So obviously, that's going to help us out a lot, being more athletic. And I mean, for us, I think just obviously having Steph back is gonna be huge. It's for everyone else to do their part in order to try not to make it seem like it's 1 on 5 or Steph versus everyone else. So obviously it's on myself, Bays, Kelly, JP, EP, Wiggs, Loon, everyone to come together so that we can all play together. Because at the end of the day, it's a team. It's not just one person out there playing.
When Steph was talking with Barack Obama,
Thank you.
Steph was talking about how he's the oldest person in the locker room at age 32. We sort of had that awareness that segued into a conversation about leadership. Do you wonder, and because Steph has had 11 seasons now with the Warriors, I think he's the longest tenured current NBA player with one team. With that kind of stuff in mind, do you see Steph taking on extra things, like putting a little bit more on his shoulders on and off the court to guide the team?
Um, yeah, I mean, yes, because he's such a unique leader in how he empowers everyone to want to be a better, not only a better player, but just a better person. Obviously, we all see what he does off the court, the family man, the nonprofit, the charitable things, and obviously his love with the city of Oakland and how he continues to keep giving back. So obviously the off the court stuff is really where you see a lot of his leadership, but on the court, same thing. I mean, he challenges everyone to be better, but he also empowers us to, be confident, go out there, play fun, play free. But obviously when it's time to lock in, he's not afraid to challenge someone in doing that. And then obviously you have his leadership style. You have Draymond's leadership style, which a lot of people think that Draymond just yells and yells. But when you know Draymond, you know that everything and how he leads is coming all from a good place. So obviously we have different leadership styles throughout the team, but everyone's main point is to empower each other, make each other better, and push each other to be better. Because, at the end of the day, Steph, Draymond, Clay, Wiggs, they were all rookies at one point, and they were trying to find their way as well. So I think that's the beauty, is that they understand where guys were. I mean, they understand where guys are because that's where they once were, when they came into the league.